Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. The PlayStation 2 Slim. I'm wondering, did you grow up with this device? I didn't, because I bought the fat model when it came out. But one of the problems I'm having with some of the Slim system, that the disk drive do have some issues. Some have like the laser a little bit worn out and I cannot play original games, or I can play them much more like a mixed situation. It will read it or it doesn't. Nowadays we do have a lot of great ways to play. For example, we do have the free Mac booth. And here you can see the free Mac booth especially for the Slim consoles. It says here the Fortuna, what I understand of, and the little bit of a problem is I cannot test it out, because this model I'm having here is the 17,000 model. You have a couple of them and they're saying the, let's say the less released devices do have an issue with the free Mac booth. And they say the Fortuna, the free Mac booth memory cards are basically the plug and play solution that works with everything. But again, I cannot test it out and I want to do that in the future. But for now I just want to focus on something else. So free Mac booth will unlock your system, or most of the systems, and we give like a lot of great ways to play now. So one of the wicked ways you can play, if you're having the special Mac free booth memory card set up, and take in consideration you can just make these things yourself. You can plug in a freaking USB drive over here. Then you're going to plug in this freaking memory card and you can play your games. The only downside is, it's like you do have limited space, and some of the PlayStation 2 games are quite big, so there are like a couple of games you can load up to a 16 GB or 32 GB USB flash drive. But that brings us to the next part of the video. That was all about, not this thing. No, we're going to talk about the latest upgrade you can do. This is a 2.5-inch SATA drive. It's in 2 freaking terabyte. It's in kit you can pick up nowadays, and in the kit what you're going to get, of course, is the all famous, like the casing itself with the hard drive, and including this kit, we're also going to get ourselves the free Mac boot that is specially made for this hard drive. Okay, so what you're going to get with this memory card, so it's basically the USB edition. Here you can see it's version 1.966 for USB games, and it's specially made for this kit. So it needs to be a plug and play solution that we're going to check out. So what you can do basically is plug in this freaking memory card, and let's hook up this freaking device, because we have now 2 terabyte of storage to load up your games. It's freaking awesome, and it's a really great way. Ooh, I'm going to leave the plastic on. Yes. Doggy's barking again. Yes, doggy, shut up, I'm filming. But I basically like pick up this full kit, and it's just more like a convenient thing. I don't want to like mess around searching for a hard drive. And this guy was just selling the memory card I needed in combination with the enclosure. But of course what you can get yourself like is an enclosure itself, like slap in a 500 GB, like a SATA drive you have laying around, and you can just do it yourself fairly easy. But again, for me it was like, I'm quite lazy sometimes and just want to pick up a kit and just to see what they're going to get and how nice it looks. It looks nice. So this is a 2 terabyte version. You also have like a 320, 640 or 1 terabyte and a 2 terabyte. A couple of versions out there. But again, it's more like how many games you want to store on this. Alright, so everything has been set up. Oh wait, I forgot my freaking controller. But we'll do that later. So every USB port at the front has been like contacted, one with the cable for the Bitfunks, the HDMI solution we've talked about in the past. So we have connected the hard drive. So only thing that we need to do is boot up this device. And let's see if we're going to get any signal, if it's going to boot up into the Freak Mac booth. Let's see. Take a couple of seconds. And there it is. So let's take a close look at the menu itself. Okay, so let's take a close look at this menu. So we're going to have the browser system configuration U launch alpha. So basically if you want to mess around in the backend and just need to transfer some files from, let's say, the hard drive or the memory card, stuff like that. The OPL version, just a normal. We do, like talked about, the new version for the SD functionality in a different video, but this is just a normal OPL. And we have a code breaker. I do have like some other applications. It's very limited, I've noticed. Like some of the memory cards do have options for more emulators, but of course we're not going to need it. So let's boot up OPL. I have set everything up, and let's show you how it will look. So OPL does have the option to read from a USB hard drive, USB stick, and if you're having like a fat model, you can even like load up like from a hard drive. Alright, so sadly it doesn't say that it has connected, so let's take a close look at this, why this is. And I think it's just some personal error on the device itself, because here you can see now it will recognize over here. It's kind of weird that it will give that error, but I just wanted to show you. And yeah, basically if you added all of your games, Like here at the top corner, we can even like change between like kind of systems, and even can add PlayStation 1 games. But PlayStation 1 games can be played on it, but it's going to be like a lot of mumbo jumbo to get it working in the end. I can tell you that. But in this case, we do get like everything load up. And if I'm right, some of the decals need to be working. Yeah, you can see already over here we do have like this tiny decal and the disc, so it's pretty damn awesome. But so let's try some games, and yeah, let's see how they will run, because there is something you need to know. But there is another thing I needed to tell about this let's say functionality of the USB. It's not perfect, and some of you already know this, but there are some things you can do about it. So let's say you have a game that does have like some requirements, like configuration needed. You press the triangle, you're going to get into this special menu, and yeah, here this is going to be the most work beside like adding all the decals and stuff like that. You need to set the certain mode, and yeah, you need to look it up. There's a big list out there like which games are compatible with USB, hard drive, and which mode you need to turn on and off to get the best compatibility with a certain game. So yeah, sadly it's not like you slap it on a hard drive and it will work. You will find some minor issues here and there. Alright, so next up I wanted to play this game, and you can just hear the audio is completely messed up. That is the stuff that we do notice with the USB functionality. But when you're getting into the game, let's see if it's going to be running a little bit better. Alright, let's see if we can basically play a game with audio. That's also like another issue we're having sometimes. So the audio itself seems to be working just fine. And let's see how the loading times are. These can be quite long, or longer than your like compared with a hard drive. But later on I wanted to see if I can do an ultimate side-by-side comparison. Yeah, so this is what I mean. Like, it takes freaking forever. But when you're actually playing the game, it seems to be running just fine. Alright, so next up, let's try 187 Ride or Die. A game I've played a very long time ago, but I played it also on the disc and the hard drive. So far I understand this game doesn't have any like problems whatsoever. Let's see how long the loading times are, and later on we'll do one side by side, because it's quite difficult to show you in this video. Just want to mainly focus on the USB. But I can already tell you, like, I'm noticing like loading times are so much longer with your normal hard drive or other method that you can play your PlayStation 2 games. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely crazy this. Alright, yep. And it's done. Alright, so let's see how the gameplay is. So far I can see there's no weird stuff going on. So when it comes to stuttering or any other problems, because that I have seen it before with different configurations. Okay, so when I booted up the game, this loading time was quite normal, like when you're looking at the hard drive. So when it comes to, let's say, some of the games, it depends like how long the loading times are normally, but also like how good is the compatibility. So let's try to boot up the game. This takes a little bit longer than normal. That one thing I can tell you. Normally it was instant loading almost. Okay.
The King of Iron Fist Tournament 5, Brian Fury. Get ready
for the next battle. Yeah, let's go. Ready for the next battle. So normally when you're having an internal hard drive, it's almost like instant loading within a couple of seconds. So I think it's not a big of a deal, but
Round 1. Fight.
But so far I can see there is no stuttering in the music or whatsoever. So this game has just a great compatibility with the USB storage device.
You win. Round 2. Fight.
So when you're looking at the 2TB upgrade for your PlayStation 2 Slim through the USB drive, it's not the perfect solution, but let's be honest, like there are not a lot of solutions nowadays. We also have like the one that I've reviewed before with the SD card, but when you're looking at this, it's absolutely like a fun way. You slap in a hard drive in a case, you plug it in, or you get a kit with a memory card, and you can just play your games this way. Especially when you're having a dead laser inside, you can still use your system. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this USB solution? Do you like it, or do you prefer to have an internal with a fat model? But thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become a Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.